Hello, everyone. This is part two of my eighth shelf by shelf project where I go through my shelves and figure out what I have and whether I want to keep reading it or not. I decided to cut this one short because I'm reading too many good books right now. Some of these I made a decision about, other ones I want to put back on my shelf because I do love these authors. So I'm going to quickly go through what I decided for each book that was on shelf number 8. I started Commonwealth by Ann Patchett. I don't have too many books by Ann Patchett. This one I really am not feeling. I'm not really crazy about the story, so I think I'm just going to let this one go. This is not one of her most famous books, and I don't know, when I read the synopsis, this is about a family and there's affairs and children dying, and I decided I wasn't really into it, so I'm going to let that one go. Same thing with The Awakening. I'm about halfway through this one, and I'm really getting Madame Bovary vibes from this, but not as good. A little more boring than Madame Bovary. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish this one. I might finish it and unhaul it. But I'm reading a kind of a similar book, but not really at all similar, at the same time, and I'm loving that one way more. And that one is The Days of Abandonment. I'm about halfway done with this book, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this one. I'd rather just read this. This is a similar story of a woman who she is abandoned by her husband with her 2 kids, and she kind of loses her mind for a bit, and I think she figures it out. It's a more of a positive look. This one is about a woman who is in a marriage and she decides to leave the marriage and kind of goes crazy. So very similar to Madame Bovary. So yeah, I might finish this one or I might not. But I'm not enjoying this one as much as I thought I would. Let's see, this one, Friend Zone. This book, this is one of her least, Abby Jimenez's least well-rated books, and I found the writing really bad. When I looked at the reviews, a lot of people thought this book was very well written, which I just don't see it. It's very mediocre, cliched kind of writing. I really hope that the rest of her books are better. I've acquired 3 of her more recent books recently, and I'm excited to read them, and I really hope that they are better than this book. I don't think I want to read this one. This is pretty bad. I'm a couple chapters in, and I'm just, I guess I'm just baffled, absolutely baffled by this book. So I'm going to let that one go. I'm just going to cut my losses. This book is a Redhead by the Side of the Road by Ann Tyler. I got this one from the publisher recently. It's a very beautiful copy, a vintage copy from the publisher. I've been started the process of organizing my books by publisher. They look really nice. But the story is very bad. I'm really surprised with Ann Tyler. I guess she's writing just to make money now. I don't really feel like she's putting in the effort into these books anymore, the newer books that she's coming out with. I just read her newest book, 3 Days in June, and I liked it. I read it all the way through. Is it good? It's not that good. It's not as good as some of her previous work from the 70s, the 80s, like Dinner at the Homesick Restaurant, The Accidental Tourist. I just don't feel like she's really trying anymore. So, and this book is just so mediocre. I don't even care. I don't even want to finish reading it. So I'm just going to let that one go. I'm also going to let Tales of Terror and Detection go by Edgar Allan Poe. I have most of the stories in this book in other volumes, in prettier copies. And the one story I didn't have, I started reading it. I read about half of it. And that story is a sequel to another story. It's The Mystery of Marie Roget. And it's really not a very exciting story. It's really just kind of like a detective look into this murder and why the person that, or the method they think resulted in the murder was not correct. So I'm just going to let that one go. I don't need it. I did start all my I didn't start most of the oh my goodness, Haruki Murakami books, and they are all beautiful. And I don't think I'm going to let go of any of them. I'm going to keep them all. I'm going to keep reading them all. The writing is just gorgeous. Norwegian Wood. See, this is the problem when I start reading all his books at the same time. I don't really remember this one, but I want to keep going. What are the other ones? Maybe I should have organized this. Wild Sheep's Chase. What's this one about? I don't even know. I'm just gonna keep them all. After Dark. This one I actually read quite a bit of. This is about a woman in a. Where is she? She's at a like Denny's or something, and she's approached by this guy, and they start talking about the past. And it's a very simple story, but it's very interesting. So I'm kind of intrigued. And what was the last one? Oh, I did not start the Wind Up Bird Chronicles. Such a beautiful book. So I'm gonna keep them all. I did not start this one, Us Against You. I'm assuming I'll read it and enjoy it, so I'm just gonna hold on to it. I read half of this book, and I'm gonna read the rest of it at some point. I didn't start The Myth of Sisyphus, but I'm gonna hold on to it. I didn't start Vile Bodies, but I'm really, really excited to read this one. When I do get to it. I did start Rotem, and it was interesting, so I'm going to keep going on that one. I started Don't Look Now. This is a collection of short stories by Daphne du Maurier, the author of Rebecca, and this is pretty creepy, so I'm going to keep going. I enjoyed that. I started The Sirens of the Titan by Kurt Vonnegut, and I love it. I'm really into this one. This is a cool sci-fi story about time travel. I read the first story in George Saunders and Persuasion Nation. Amazing. I love George Saunders, so super excited to continue with that one. Did I start The Innocent? No, I did not start The Innocent, but I will. I'll get to it. I'm kind of intrigued by that one. I didn't start Frenchman's Creek, but I want to keep going. I didn't start Down and Out in Paris Alone. This is actually a memoir, so I don't know why it's here in the fiction section. I found that out by doing some research. I did not start Timequake, so I am gonna read that one. I didn't start this one. The Death Comes from the Archbishop, but I do want to read it. I started The Noise of Time. I'm intrigued enough to keep going. It's interesting. Salvage the Bones started out really well, so I really like this one. Same thing with Sing. I'm Barry Singh. She is a beautiful writer. So I'm going to keep all her books. That's Jasmine Ward. Flaubert's Parrot is a fun puzzle. I want to read all the way through, so I'm going to keep that. Arthur and George is just a gorgeous beginning. So these are all Julian Barnes books. So I'm going to keep going on that. My Cousin Rachel, I was completely obsessed with the beginning, so definitely going to continue with that one. I'm going to keep all my Kurt Vonnegut books. Cat's Cradle, Welcome to the Monkey House, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. I'm going to definitely keep the newest George Saunders book that I have, The Brain Dead Megaphone. I'm going to keep this Winter in Moscow book because I'm still reading it, even though I'm not making much progress, and this book is worth a fortune online. So it's impossible to buy a replacement copy if I ever let go, but I'm not going to let it go because this book is really good. The End of the Battle, I started this. Well, no, I did not. I did not start this one. I started the other one. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Men at Arms. It's okay. I don't know. I'm not in it. I'm not far enough into this book to really be that excited about, but I do want to finish it. I am a big fan of Evelyn Waugh. I didn't start The End of the Battle, but I want to read it, so I'm going to hold on to it. Lady in the Lake. I do want to read more Raymond Chandler, so I'm going to hold on to that one. Drown by Juanito Diaz. I sort of started. It's intriguing. It's about a family, so I'm going to hold on to that. Disgrace, I read the first chapter a while ago, and I really enjoyed it, so I want to keep going. I'm so excited about that. I'm still not sure about Waiting for the Barbarians. This book, the writing is beautiful, but I don't know if I want to read the subject matter, so I still have to make a decision here. And then finally, Amsterdam. This is the one that won the Booker Prize by Ian McEwan, and I really like it. I think I like the beginning, and I read the plot, and it's interesting. It's about these two men who are both in love with the same woman who dies, and it's about their friendship. And I think I'm not going to spoil it anyway. Yeah, it's interesting. So so not as many on hauls for this shelf, and I kind of knew that going in. There's a lot of very favorite authors on this one. But yeah, I'm getting rid of a few, and I'm glad I made the decisions that I did. And right now I'm really focusing on trying to make my shelves as beautiful as possible, and really enjoying them. We're doing a lot of home renovations at the time, so it's kind of a mess. Anyway, thank you for watching.